Hi everyone. Just creating another video of my adventures with AI. So this one is so I've been working on a project that it's just a fun project that I was doing on the side. It kind of spawned out of something that I did before, which was like doing these custom t-shirts, and I kind of thought, hey, I actually want to do something which is related to this, but more custom. And so this is kind of like that is spawned out from that. But anyways, what it does essentially is that it'll take a source image like this, and then I can merge it together with, like in this case, I put together a picture of myself with thumbs up, and it will generate an output like this. So the way it works, I won't go too much into it because that's there's a bunch of things that happen in the background with how it works. So you can see kind of like that trace I had. If you want to just take a look through that scroll I did, you can just read through it. But what I'm recording this is that I decided to want to do something which is so when I first created this project, I purely vibe coded it with how much control it was. A lot of it was done haphazardly. I just kind of like decided to do it because I had another project that was similar, and I thought, hey, let's do this. And so I put it together based on some quick thoughts of what I knew I wanted in the application, but I didn't really consider a lot of things, and I'm just getting back into this project now because I have some thoughts of what I want to do and maybe launching this as a product later on. But anyways, so what happened? Essentially, I wanted to create a way to do migrations because the initial version didn't have migrations. It just had a init to set up the database, and I also just used SQLite, which it's okay for now. But if I move it to production, I'm going to want this to work on a production DB, maybe something like MySQL or Postgres. So I decided to prompt the LLM. So going back to what I use, I don't use any of the state-of-the-art models from Anthropic or OpenAI. That's another video. I don't think that's necessary. So I generally use, I have three models that I generally go to. I use GLM, Minimax, or Kimi. I would say in that order. I would my first one is always GLM, and then I'll use Minimax and GLM are two that I kind of interchange with. So in this case, I was using GLM, and I'm not going to go through the chat trace, all of it, but so what happened? So I decided to do a migration update. I wanted to have the ability to run migrations. Because I know there will be changes, and actually I was doing something that had certain changes that I needed, some minor changes, and I noticed what the LLM was doing was just simply making a SQL update to the database. So I was like, okay, that's a poor way to handle database changes now and also in the future. So I was like, okay, let's do migrations. So what it did was essentially. So if anyone's noticed that there was a cut, it's because I accidentally leaked my ENV file, which had my keys, so I didn't want that. So I re-recorded this one, and also actually the other recording had my video covering that stuff I was talking about. So I'm re-recording that in this one. So essentially, so just continuing from there, what happened was. The initial version of the migration that the system created was quite poor. What what it did was essentially like this. I can show you right here. This is the kind of final completion of the solution, and I kind of caught that because I was like, when it completed, I was kind of wondering, you know, so it did all this stuff and changes and whatnot, um, but when it completed, I was kind of wondering, hey, this doesn't look right because I mean, initially I didn't notice why I thought like what was wrong apart from I'm like, wait, where's it never talks about the migration files. Like I'd expect some sort of uh, it's usually migrations would either be some incremental numbered file with some maybe 0001 or date stamped and then some name and then .sql, right? Or that's some some systems do that. But anyways, I was looking for that, and I was looking for a directory where it will hold migration files. So none of that was there, and I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of odd. Maybe maybe I need to document that, or maybe I need to kind of prompt it more to let me know, or where that folder is, because maybe it's somewhere that I didn't notice, and sometimes it might not create it, right? So what I discovered was that there was no such structure. It was just like, no, no, no. Um, Basically, each migration is an array inside RunDB. RunDB is the file, the script that runs the migrations, right? And it has like the code base for running. So I'm like, so it's just like, okay, just append the next array here, and you're good to go. And if that is just poor, no matter what, it doesn't make sense at all. You don't want to do that, beyond the fact that there's you just don't want to modify a code file, a program, just to do something that is going to incrementally change, right? It's like it just doesn't make sense. Like with migrations, you keep on adding to it, and there could be many touch points. Different people might modify it. Currently, I'm a solo dev, but I worked in larger developer development groups, and you don't. Anyways, long story short, this is not the place for migrations. It should be isolated in its own folder. Each migration has its own trace, at least file-based. That's the best way to do it, I think. That's the way that I've been doing it in the past, across different languages. So anyways, for it to come up with this solution, I kind of realized that something that I just want to highlight, because this is also kind of a vibe coded thing, and as I was doing this, I mean, I got to migrations here, but I was doing a bunch of other stuff before that. So this is an issue relating to context, right? It's just at that moment, it thought this was the best solution, even though it's probably the worst solution you can have. Whatever reason that came up with this one, it's easy to understand that LLMs work on context. The models itself is highly trained, but at that moment that you're working on something, you have to also understand its context and its understanding and the expectations it has based on what you want. There's a bunch of stuff, right? So it can easily come up with certain things that doesn't make sense, and I do come across these quite often, depending on certain things. But the context makes a big difference, and in this case, really, like, I think the models are great, but in this instance, it made a really bad decision. And it's not like I believe that it can't make a right decision or create the right solution. It's just you need to guide it. But it's just an example of how I think I cannot imagine how I can let an LM go running wild and do a whole bunch of stuff that has a lot of implications in different parts of its application in the way that it's generating things, right? Because something in the past can impact the future. Like all your code base is related, right? So I cannot imagine how letting something go makes sense. Like for me, I have to work side by side. I have to understand what it's doing, what it should be doing, and what have some sort of expectation of the output. I don't like right now, like for this piece of product, I don't expect to read every single piece of code, but I do expect to read everything that it suggests, and I want to understand what it's doing, right? And in this case, when it came to this migration, I was like I said, I was doing a bunch of stuff, and I missed this one. I missed this one specifically, and it came to do something like this, pretty stupid, right? So of course I gave it more instructions. I told it why it's wrong, and like I said, I understand LMs are smart. I think there's a lot of capabilities in it, and I knew from the start that once you give it enough context, it will know what to do. And in this case, me being lazy, I decided, okay, well, migration patterns are quite typical. And I think TypeScript has, for sure, there is some sort of standard way of doing it. So rather than me typing all a bunch of stuff, I decided just to tell it to use a search skill, which I have. I think I'm using Brave. Yeah, so use Brave search. I use a paid one, but so I went to look at options on how what's the typical way of doing migrations, and of course it will. I mean, this is a typical pattern, so it would find it for sure. This is not rocket science. So it did come to the right conclusion eventually. Like you can read it here. I eventually actually didn't go with this option just because I also prompted it more, because at this moment when I initially created this product, it was just for SQLite, and it was just something I wanted to do really quick. But now, because I want to turn this into a product, I decided, okay, we need it to be on either MySQL or Postgres. So I want to make sure the migrations are not specific to a specific database. So it eventually came up with a solution that fit with what I want. So I won't go into that detail there, but it came up with the right solution. It implemented it. I don't have the code here. Actually, I worked on this on a different computer. So, but the main thing I wanted to say is just that, like, you have to understand LLMs are powerful, but at the same time, they need guidance. They're just like they learn from past things that we've done. And once you understand, LLMs have context, which is limited. LLMs are trained on a lot of data that I would say put them at a position which are better in terms of its understanding of a lot of information. I totally agree with that, but you have to kind of know how to massage and work with the context. And the context window ultimately is small. Like even you say 1 million tokens is, I mean, I don't think 1 million tokens, or if it's 256k or whatever amount of tokens, you ultimately have a lot of other issues that come into place with context, and so guidance is important. I won't go into too much detail there, but you have context rot, whatnot. That's another topic. So working side by side important. Letting it run wild, I can't imagine, unless unless there's, I know there's a loop engineering. I kind of understand how that works, but I still don't agree with burning so many tokens just because it keeps on catching its own errors and fixing its own errors. That, yeah, not a good way to learn in my thoughts. But anyways, yeah, hope that was informative. I hope if there's any questions, if anyone has any ideas or thoughts about what I said, feel free to share with me. So, yeah, I'm still learning how to do these videos. I'm learning how to stream, but I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. And I totally forget when to switch videos, switch cameras, and I'm trying different cameras as well. This is my phone, which I'm streaming the video through, so that's why it's kind of quality sucks when I switch. But okay, I'm rambling on, but yeah, hopefully this is cool. I do have future things I'm going to work on. I am working on. I want to do more videos about creating products, creating things with LLMs. I have one that's I think quite interesting. It's to do with the job market. It's to do with the whole freelancer market, and I think I do have an idea. I don't know how good it is, but I want to just vibe code it, and hopefully if it's interesting, maybe people would also like to work on it. But let me put together a stream. I want to stream that whole creation process, and then if yeah, I mean, yeah, everyone hates the job, how the whole job market is, right? Like the whole, I mean, I look at Reddit and everyone's saying how difficult it is to do applications, how difficult it is to do freelancing, how Upwork sucks, freelancer sucks, like, yeah, because everything on both ends, the creating, the reviewing, the applying is all AI right now, and that's all screwed everything up. But anyways, no more rambling. Hope you guys have a good day, and hope this was informative. If there's any questions, I don't know, people say subscribe somewhere. I'm still new, wherever that button is. Alright.